What really happened the night Park Jimin was suddenly spotted at a quiet musical performance. Face screaming in fear. Why did this simple appearance explode into a global mystery within hours? Welcome back to Jikook Lover, where hidden moments, untold stories, and the deepest BTS theories come to light. Fire! Before we go any further, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you see this moment. Because this time, we're uncovering what fans are calling one of the most emotional and unexpected signs of support from Park Jimin to Lee Sae-on. Pleading face broken heart. And trust me, this is only the beginning. In a world where every move of a global superstar is tracked, analyzed, and magnified, it's often the smallest, quietest moments that end up shaking the internet the most. And this time, it wasn't a concert, a comeback, or a major announcement that sent shockwaves across the globe. It was something far more subtle, yet infinitely more powerful. It started like any other evening. A musical performance, a modest crowd, a stage lit with warm lights, and an atmosphere that felt intimate rather than explosive. Nothing about that night suggested it would become one of the most talked about moments among fans worldwide. Nothing hinted that within hours, millions of eyes would be drawn to a single, unexpected presence hidden among the audience. And yet, there he was, Park Jimin. No grand entrance, no official announcement, no flashing cameras welcoming him. Just a quiet arrival, almost as if he didn't want to be noticed at all. But in a world where even the slightest glimpse can ignite a wildfire, it didn't take long before whispers began to spread. Is that really him? Why is he here? Was this planned, or something more personal? Within minutes, those whispers turned into posts. Blurry photos surfaced. Short clips began circulating. Eyewitness accounts started to pile up. And just like that, a calm evening transformed into a global topic of speculation. But everything shifted the moment one crucial detail emerged. The performance that night was connected to Lee Sae-on. And suddenly, nothing felt random anymore. The narrative began to change. What initially seemed like a coincidence started to look intentional, purposeful, even emotional. Fans around the world began connecting dots, some recent, some buried deep in the past, trying to understand the true meaning behind this unexpected appearance. Why would someone like Park Jimin, with his global schedule and immense pressure, choose to attend a musical quietly, without publicity? Why would he sit among the crowd, almost blending in, rather than being seated in a visible VIP section? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, why did his presence feel so deeply personal? Those who claimed to have seen him that night described something unusual. They didn't just talk about his appearance, they talked about his expressions. The way he watched the stage, the way his focus never seemed to break. The subtle emotional shifts that, according to some, hinted at something far deeper than casual support. There were whispers that his eyes glistened during certain scenes. Others insisted that his posture, his stillness, carried a weight that couldn't be explained by simple admiration. It was as if he wasn't just watching a performance, but experiencing something meaningful on a personal level. And that's when the internet truly lost control. Clips were replayed, screenshots were zoomed in. Every frame became a piece of evidence in a puzzle that no one could fully solve. Theories flooded timelines, some grounded in logic, others driven purely by emotion. But all of them pointed to one undeniable fact. This moment mattered. As the name Lee Sae-on continued to trend alongside Jimin, curiosity turned into obsession. People began digging deeper, revisiting past interactions, searching for any hint that could explain the nature of their connection. Had this bond always existed quietly behind the scenes? Was this a friendship that had simply never been fully revealed? Or was there an entirely different story, one that had never been meant for the public eye? The more people searched, the more questions emerged. And strangely, the lack of answers only made everything more intense. Because neither side spoke. No statements, no clarifications, no attempts to confirm or deny anything. Just silence. And in that silence, the mystery grew louder. For many fans, this wasn't just about curiosity anymore. It became something emotional, something almost symbolic. In an industry often defined by image and distance, this quiet act felt real, raw, unfiltered. A global star choosing to show up, not for cameras, not for headlines, but for someone. But even that interpretation wasn't enough to satisfy everyone. Because if it was truly that simple, why keep it hidden? Why not let the world see it openly? Why did this moment feel like something that slipped through the cracks rather than something meant to be shared? As discussions intensified, the internet found itself divided. Some embraced the warmth of the moment, seeing it as proof of genuine human connection. Others leaned into speculation, convinced there was more beneath the surface, something deeper, more complex, perhaps even deliberately concealed. And as the story spread beyond fan communities into mainstream global media, one thing became clear. This was no longer just a moment. It had become a phenomenon. A quiet appearance had turned into a global conversation. A simple act had evolved into an emotional mystery. And a single night had sparked questions that refused to fade. Even now, as the noise continues and new interpretations emerge every day, the truth remains just out of reach. Close enough to feel, yet distant enough to remain unanswered. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Because sometimes, the most meaningful moments are the ones we don't fully understand. But now that the world has seen this, now that millions have witnessed even a glimpse of what happened that night, one question continues to echo louder than ever. Was Park Jimin's presence at Lee Sae-on's musical truly just a simple act of support? And just when it seemed like the conversation had reached its peak, something even more intriguing began to unfold. Fans started noticing patterns. Not obvious ones, not anything that could be confirmed instantly, but subtle, almost invisible threads that connected moments across time. Old clips resurfaced. Forgotten interactions suddenly felt significant. Even the smallest details, shared spaces, overlapping timelines, mutual acquaintances, were brought back into the spotlight. And somehow, in the middle of all this, the presence of Park Jimin at that musical no longer felt like an isolated event. It began to feel like a continuation of something that may have always existed, just beyond public view. What made things even more intense was the emotional reaction from fans who believed this moment revealed a side of Jimin rarely seen. Not the performer, not the global icon, but the person behind it all. The one who chooses quietly, who shows up without needing recognition, who expresses support in ways that don't demand attention, but end up receiving it anyway. At the same time, the spotlight on Lee Sae-on grew brighter than ever. People began analyzing his performance that night, wondering if he knew. Did he notice Jimin in the audience? Was there a glance, a moment, a silent acknowledgement that went unnoticed by the cameras but felt in the air? Some even claimed there were brief seconds where his energy shifted on stage, as if he sensed something, or someone important watching him. Whether real or imagined, these interpretations only added more fuel to an already burning mystery. But perhaps the most fascinating part of this entire situation is how it refuses to settle into a single narrative. Every explanation feels incomplete. Every theory leaves something unanswered. And every new detail seems to open even more questions rather than closing them. Because in the end, this isn't just about a musical. It isn't just about a public appearance. It's about what that appearance represents in a world where so much is carefully managed, curated, and controlled. And that's why people can't let it go. Because deep down, everyone feels it. There's something about that night that doesn't fully add up, something that lingers just beneath the surface, waiting to be understood. So now, as the theories continue to spiral and the mystery refuses to fade, one question grows even stronger, more persistent, and impossible to ignore. If this moment was never meant to be seen, then why does it feel like it revealed exactly what was meant to stay hidden? Face without mouth,